little over a year since we've been up here asking for funding from you guys to help support the Latino Community Coalition's initiative to interview Latinas from our community in honor of naming an alley, the Community Foundation Alley, after these women that were nominated. And it's been a long progress throughout the whole year. And I have Eleanor and Veronica here from the LCC that's going to give you kind of an update. And there's also some handouts where you're sitting as well to kind of follow along with them. But I'll invite, Veronica, do you want to talk first?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Veronica Quintino-Aranda, and I'm part of the LCC. And with me is...
Good morning, everyone. Eleanor Moreno, also a committee member for the LCC.
And so today we're super excited to talk to you about HERencia. I've been involved in a lot of different projects, but this project, I believe, will always be in my heart just because of all I walked with the families throughout their process as they relived their grieving for their loved Latina. And so me and Eleanor are here to talk a little bit about how the project has evolved from the beginning. At first, it was hard because we came as an LCC and we're like, how are we going to recruit these families, not face-to-face, but virtually or through either our phones or a laptop? And we were so surprised that we were able to understand the barriers of our community during a pandemic. And we were able to get 12 nominations from 12 families. And these families are women whose kids, grandkids, and spouses still live here in Grand Rapids. And they've been able to be entrepreneurs, pastors, or young professionals today working in our communities.
I think a big piece of this is also recognizing the process it took to engage these families. We were really trying to be intentional. Grand Rapids archives, there's less than 10% of, Latinx anything in any of our archive systems. If you go to Grand Valley, if you go to GRPL, and so wanting to uplift and increase that number as best as we can, recognizing again that we're in a pandemic and some of those barriers. So for us, it was really a powerful moment to be able to engage with the folks we were able to. And a part of that was some of the partners that went along on this journey. Outside of all the folks in this space, we had the Latina Network, the Hispanic Center of West Michigan, a few neighborhood associations, and specifically targeting areas across our city that are predominantly Latinx. Our ultimate original intention was like, okay, we're gonna do this process and we're gonna find one woman we could uplift as a part of that alleyway. But for us, it was really a lot of time creating some of those feedback circles and closing those feedback loops with the folks we were engaging with. And so really that took us on a big journey of like, okay, well, we're gonna find one person and here are 12 powerful women who are doing amazing things who are no longer with us.
Yeah, and so walking with the family was a big component because they are the experts. And so we would always go back and listen to them because originally we had thought that the alley was going to be named after one Latina. And after doing the videos, we stayed together with all the families an hour after they created the videos because they were grieving and we just listened to them. And so I was grieving inside, but I had to be strong for them. And so that's why it was so emotional for both Eleanor and myself and the whole LCC committee as we walked with the families. But one of the things that we heard is that they were like, but wouldn't it be better if the alley is named after all of us? Because how can I say that my mom is better than your mom or my grandma is better than your grandma? And so we went back to the steering committee and we were like, you know what? Like, why don't we just name the alley after everybody? And so that's why the alley is going to be named Nuestra HERencia, which is our heritage. And it's going to be honoring the women in our community.
And I think a big major piece of this is when we were putting out the nominations, we weren't looking for a typical Western style, process. We weren't looking for accolades. We weren't looking for a Latina who had 1 million businesses, who who had kind of those usual things. We were really trying to find the Latina who was creating community, who was bringing our culture and creating a space for more people to engage. And so these 12 women, in some shape or form, were doing that. They were really setting those values that we as a community, that really exemplify us.
Yes, and so right here, we wanted to be transparent with you because that's what we're going to do. On April 26th, we invite you to watch the 5 videos of the 5 top Latinas. And so in this brochure, you will find the submissions that we received, the ones that have a star. Those are the 5 Latinas based on the submissions and the LCC as we were reading them and crying. Like, we took a couple breaks. I took a couple breaks as I was reading this because they were so emotional. And knowing each of these 12 Latinas, that was even more powerful because it reminded me of a lot of stories that I have of them and how they have all shaped me so that I could become the young professional that I am and also the person that I am today.
So yeah, I really hope you all take us up on joining us in a couple of weeks and sharing some of these stories. We haven't even watched all the videos yet, and we say 5 out of 12 because time. You've been very patient with us, and around the pandemic, and wanting to be intentional that we're engaging our community in the best way possible. So thank you so much for that. So there's 5 out of the 12 that we were able to do, but our hopes is that we circle back to all 12 and be able to really archive that narrative and honor those women and those families who kind of been along this journey. So. Again, hopefully see you in a couple weeks on Tuesday.
April 26th. Don't forget, Studio Park. We'll be there. There'll be food, and you'll get to meet the family members, and we'll be there. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be an opportunity for us to be with our community and get to know these amazing Latina women. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I love it. Love it, and so I embrace you, and I will be there front and center, hugging all the family, the 2 of you, and just like that. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just as a reminder too that I can take that. This is just phase 1 of this project. So after the video, we'll be working with the LCC on the next step, and that's the actual activation portion of the alley. So we'll be back in front of you with that, with another ask for support to continue this effort. So thank you all.
Thank you.